welcome to another edition of Student of the Game. I'm your boy Ro, contributor for State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys podcast. And we're going back a little bit to 2013, first-year offensive coordinator Rhett Lashlee at the helm for Auburn. Very famous game, the 2013 Iron Bowl. And the reason why I wanted to focus a little attention and basically the backdrop of this video series today is showing how the quarterback run capacity could look with D'Eriq King, our Ferrari with feet, at the University of Miami. So let's set up this play. For simplicity purposes, we're going to say that this is 12 set personnel. You're going to have one, oh, big mouse alert. There you go. I got that online this week. They're like, hey, can you make the mouse bigger so I can follow along? Absolutely. There you go. You ask and you get. So we have one running back who we're going to remain nameless this whole series. And then you're going to go ahead and have, we'll just say for simplicity purposes, two tight ends. Now, they're coming out. Alabama's in their 4-2-5. They have their striker position right here. Right now, they're setting it up towards the boundary. Now, this is simple motion. They're going to go ahead, and now you have an obvious run strength, okay? And you're going to, as I watch this unfold, you're going to see there's the quarterback keep. We're going to let this play from another angle. But you're going to see how that motion basically leveraged a numbers advantage back to the field side, okay? So here we go. As that motion came across, 12 set personnel, now you see at the point of attack, Auburn has the advantage. And then when you have a quarterback who's mobile, like Marshall, D'Eriq King, you can leverage a defense really, really quickly. So there you go. Here's the zone read. Keeps some of them at bay. As you see, these defenders have to go ahead and attribute, hat on a hat, but you have to attribute that the halfback could potentially get the ball. So in this capacity, you'll see the linebacker flex out. This was late. This was Ha-Ha Dix coming over. I think he realized after the fact that they didn't have the numbers. He should have ran with his motion. Right here, safety, free safety coming down into the box. He's a free hitter. You're not going to account or attribute for him. But look at how this play sets up once the quarterback keeps the ball. And this is what's going to make D'Eriq King dangerous. Because in this case, you got a little bit of speed. You're pulling around the defense, and it's easy. It's easy. You get 7, 8 yards. Quarterback keep variety. Going back to the Auburn days to see what a Miami offense with D'Eriq King could look like. So this is fortuitous foreshadowing for me. This is something in the wheelhouse of D'Eriq King, and I fully anticipate him having plays like this designed for him this season. In this case, they're going to go ahead and attach jet sweep motion and put it into the zone read. There it is. I'm going to freeze it at the mesh point, and I'm going to tell you what just happened. Alabama is in an odd man front. They had a zero-tech defensive tackle head up on the center. You have a defensive end. Now, in terms of gap integrity, you have your A gap, you have your B gap, you have your C gap, and then you can push this beyond and consider this D if you had other additional offensive linemen or tight ends in the actual frame. But at the mesh point right here, when Marshall is putting the ball into the halfback's stomach, you see that the linebacker flexed down to respect this into the A gap. That is his responsibility. Now, as you see this, you have that jet sweep motion, kick it out. Now you have this nice C-gap lane, this nice C-gap bubble. And this, all it takes is for somebody to read it wrong, somebody to take a false step. And this is exactly what happens here. You don't need a hat on this. This is your free safety. This is a free hitter. But when he's going ahead and flexing out with that motion a little too much, and I promise you, Saban is losing his mind after this game, basically this. That one little crease, that one little window, that threat of the halfback keeping it, the quarterback with his eyes up, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. It was one misstep by the safety. That's all it was. Touchdown. Bang. And then if you can just make your blocks and make a play as an offensive lineman, i.e. H-back, you're going to have great things happen for you. And I feel like Georgia does a really, really good job at the point of attack at having the numbers. And here you go. Once again, they're faking the orbit motion here behind the quarterback, getting him back behind the scrimmage. There's the mesh point. There's the zone read. Marshall's going to keep the ball. And now this is when some plays happen. If you freeze the frame right here, I feel right here Georgia has enough at the point of attack to play dividends. But this is what happens. Sets up right there. The defensive linebacker for Georgia tried to go ahead and clip the H-back. And when he failed and kept his feet, you still have a 3v2 advantage. You actually had 4v2 in terms of numbers on this side. But that one play, good block, hat on a hat, Safety is going ahead and running outside to try to get the perimeter and keep it back inside. But that was one hell of a play. Quarterback with some dynamic run ability, one cut, easy, bang, 6. Auburn's coming out in an ace gun 2x2 look variety from 10-set personnel. They're going to be running a quarterback read attached with a halfback dive and a slot bubble. So I want to go ahead and fast forward to the mesh point right there, okay? Now in this variety, you're going to see what the bubble screen did. It provides horizontal pressure. You have a defender in man coverage. When he does that, back is turned, and that's the risk you take running man coverage with a mobile threat quarterback, because it's like putting a blindfold on as soon as you turn your back. He's out of the play. Not to fear, because Texas A&M right here has 2 defenders who are in relatively good position, right? You have your defensive end who read the mesh point right, realizes that the quarterback kept the ball. You also have this defender as well, okay? The rest of the linebacking crew, they're in here respecting the halfback dive. Now, I'm going to show you what happens as soon as I unclick the frame right here. Whoop. What just happened? 2 missteps happen. So your defensive coordinator could put you in a prime position to make a play. But if you false step against a mobile threat quarterback, Missouri in your old Madden 44, I just want you to go ahead and look at this second level of defenders, right? Right here, your second level defenders. Right here at the mesh point, bam, look where they are. Look at how far they wash down to respect this. But when you have a mobile threat quarterback, and that's the theme this week, yeah, that's pretty easy. So as a defense, there's tempo. So the first thing you got to do is line up right. And after you line up right, you got to make sure that you play right, okay? And this is what I mean by play right. Because once again, and this is the theme, right at the mesh point, if you take a couple false steps, De'Ara King will make you pay. And that linebacker and this free safety, they wash back in, false steps, you are in prime position. Linebacker, I have no clue what the hell you're doing. You're tripping over your own feet. Good block on the perimeter by the wide receiver. That's speed. 40 yards later to the house, bang. You're going to add tempo, and you're going to expect the defense not to false step. Good luck with that. So real quick to adjust our focus, we've seen a lot of quarterback, veer capacity, zone read. He's reading the defensive ends. He's reading outside gaps. But when you see a quarterback at the mesh point looking forward, this is what you call a midline read. A lot of times you're picking a midline defender, technically a defensive tackle. Sometimes you'll even see them let them go. And depending whether or not the defensive tackle sticks and tries to read the quarterback if left unchecked, or gives it to the actual or chases down the running back, the quarterback will keep. In this case, Marshall, he's reading the midline. Okay, defensive tackles checked. That's your key to run up the middle. It's not always looking outside, but this is a very reeled off run, midline read capacity. This is something else that you can anticipate from De'Ara King this year. I want to call this play Moses. And anytime you're in 5 wide, the defense automatically knows, and they're on alert for a quarterback draw, for good reason. But in this case, when you attach your tight end on a quick out, and right here you also have a quick out, it's taking your interior defenders with it. And that's why I want to call this play Moses, because quarterback simply just needs to read that, and when he does, the Red Sea forms. I mean, he's open. Good running ability, huge play, great job on this. This has been fun, Miami Hurricane fans. I had somebody reach out to me privately and say, could you please look at the Auburn days and how it could factor with De'Ara King running the ball? And that's what I wanted to do today. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. Big Hurricane fan, love doing this for the community. Everybody stay safe, and hopefully this season comes before we know it.